Can you talk a little bit about making your thesis film when you were 21 or 20, and what it was like, some of the things that didn't work out, and how you adjusted to those things, some of the victories and failures of that film?
Yes.
Yeah,
I could.
Yeah.
It's the most important experience a student can have, for me. It's the time when they need to make all the calls with gentle guidance from the professors and from those around them. But they need to make the decisions, because this is one of the few times where they get a chance to really, the stakes aren't that high, or I hope they feel that way, So I made a short film called The Story of Miriam and Leonard, which starred my grandparents. They were 91, and it was a love story. And so it was about them finding one another in a retirement home in Virginia. So immediately red flags went up on the whole staff except for Janine, and said, and one professor said, you should really make this a documentary. When you go down there, yeah, shoot your script, but also just film behavior, because I think that's probably where this is going to end up. I didn't do any of that. I just, threw the crew together. I got permission to take the equipment out of state, which was a big deal back then.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah. Loaded it up in the Ford. And we shot the script with whatever else came to us, And I came back to the editing room, and I pretty much had almost everything, but not quite. And it was kind of, some of my classmates kind of saw there's something here, but many did not, because they're old and it was slower paced and they couldn't see it all put together. And then I showed my rough cut to Janine, and she had a great feeling about it, and it moved her, and I was thrilled. And she said it's missing this one key thing, and we talked about that, and I went back down 2 weekends later, shot it in a day, the key thing, and I had the movie. And I felt good about it all the way through. And that was incongruous with the kind of feedback I was getting from some around me, because it's such an unlikely, entertaining thing, 91-year-olds on screen falling in love. But something was there, and I just, with Janine's support and a few others, I stuck to it, and I was so thrilled that the audience got it, because that's when you learn. You sit with them, no matter what it is, and you learn what works and what doesn't. And there were a couple things that didn't work, but for the most part, there was a feeling created in the audience from the movie that I'm so proud of, even to this day. It's just a little 11-minute short. And then it went on to festivals and did a lot for me in that regard. But it was kind of that experience that's totally helped me. And even today, because you're always going to have moments when you second guess yourself. And maybe in the midst of pressure, budgetary pressures, I've been in days where we've had 8 hours to shoot 20 pages on location. And you just have to trust your gut. And knowing that there's some success there, and that there's a voice that can be understood and by an audience, really, really helps. So it was huge for me.
Yeah.